Welcome to another segment of the Nitty Gritty of Selling. I'm David Seymour. This segment is about open homes for real estate people, so listen up. When it comes to marketing the properties that you've taken so much effort in getting listed, the marketing is the next key point that you have to concentrate on. And so doing the open homes is mainly is the big part of it, but also your online presence with those listings. And normally you do 20 odd photos and a little, maybe these days you're doing a short video, which is something I would recommend. I mean, look, I was doing videos back in 2010 and 11. They were rough and raw, but they were being done and people were seeing them. And now it's becoming a lot more professional, which is great. And in some ways I wish I could be part of that. The things you need to pay attention to when you're marketing the property is the script that you go through. Now, you know, you might have listed a 4-bedroom home, 2 bathrooms, double car garaging in a nice street. And that's great. You do have to stress those things. But really, you need to look for the uniqueness of this particular property to attract your buyers. And that may be the particular view, it may be the fantastic veggie gardens that it's got, it may be the lovely native bush that's next to the property or part of the property, the availability or access to public amenities and that sort of thing. You need to actually stress these things as unique selling points rather than just going, here's a nice architecturally designed 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, triple car garage house. Try and get a little bit more imagination into your script. And using these preempted scripts via different apps is fine, but it doesn't necessarily give the detail, and some of it can be a bit wishy-washy. Be to the point to some degree, but look for that uniqueness. When it comes to doing the open home, most salespeople end up with a glossy brochure of some description. Sometimes it's a 1-page, sometimes it's a 4, 6 or even 8-page brochure, and it has the photos and the same script that's all online. So what are you giving the potential buyers? Anything extra? By doing that, you're not. And you've got to remember that your next listing is probably just walking through the door, and that vendor, that potential vendor that is looking at this property is judging you at how well you run your open homes and how approachable are you and what sort of information are you providing. Now, if you provide some extra information, now here's some key things. Here's some things that I used to do. This one here was the 15 things you should know about before moving day, and it talks about, you know, decluttering and talking about getting things sorted and all those sort of things. So buyers can have a think about that sort of thing. And I used to have a couple of these which were branded as well, which is about moving house and talking about the relocation people that they can contact to talk to about moving house, get quotes from and that sort of thing. So I would have several of those options available, but also details on if you're selling by auction, the procedures that that people need to go through if they're looking at buying at auction, some suggested ideas and what their options are as a buyer. And also, even if you're doing it as a set date of sale or price by negotiation, give them some facts over and above just giving them the glossy brochure. But look, here's something different, and I know that I was one of the very few people that would do it. David's Discounts, I called it. Now on there's 8 different local companies that had agreed to give my clients a discount on anything that they purchased, and there was a discount there for getting their gardens done, discount for some paint, there's some furnishings, garden supplies, carpet, and that sort of thing. And the reason for doing that is that you're giving something to people that they don't get from every other agent. Now I can tell you now, if 1,000 people watch this video right now, maybe 2, 3 might take that idea up and actually go and use it. So the chances of you being unique if you use it are huge. Go and do something different from everybody else. But here's a really good one. I haven't got a copy of it with me right now, but I used to include in the brochure a fact sheet about the suburb that the property was in, and it would talk about the local parks, the local schools, the local shops, local sports clubs, and that sort of thing, about what was actually in that local community. And then I would just say there was 3 different churches of different denominations. There was 3 different schools in the area. There was 2 kindergartens. There was the local dairy and the gas station, whatever it may be, the golf course and so forth. And just have it on a 1-page summary. So, because not everybody who comes to your open home is necessarily familiar with the area. So why not give them a little bit of information? Again, and if 1,000 people watching this video, I can guarantee you most people go, oh, that's too hard. But if you take the opportunity to do something different, you will reap the rewards. It's guaranteed, because most salespeople are too lazy to go and try something different. I'm sorry if that's blunt, but most of you are stuck in your fucking way and won't do anything new. Try something new. And just to add to your uniqueness and point of difference, why not include a rental appraisal for the property? And it doesn't matter what value this property is, whether it's a cheapie or a very high end. You don't know your buyer's circumstances, and so having a rental appraisal may be another option for any buyer to consider that as a possibility. Now, the thing being is that if you're not aligned with a rental agency already, go and align yourself one. If your office runs a rental company as well, then make sure that you get your company to quote accordingly. The next thing would be to include some council records, and that'll be not the LIM report and that sort of thing necessary, but just things like the from the GIS maps from most councils. You can get information about local pipelines and water lines and sewerage lines that may run along the front or through the property, and that can be interesting to and useful information to any prospective buyer. But the other thing that you need to include is things like your business cards. Make sure you've got your business cards there, not just on the brochure, not your contact names just on the brochure, but actually give people your business cards. They're invaluable. And if you've got any pens or pads or calendars or other freebie giveaway stuff, give away to these people that are coming to the open homes, because it's invaluable stuff to give away to people, because it gets your brand out there. And again, it's a point of difference. At one point there, I was putting all my open home information through into a little bag, just a branded bag, and give that to the people so they could walk out with a bag and it was something useful. Again, it's just a point of difference. The next thing I want to just talk about is signboards and so forth out the front of the house. Now, so often you go past a property, big signboard there saying for sale by Joe Agent, and it'll have a photo of the front of the house which you can already see. You can see the front of the house from the road, and you've put this big photo of the front of the house on the signboard. What the fuck? What is with that? Why would you do that? Be different. Put a photo of the backyard that people can't see, or a photo of the lounge or the kitchen or the view that people can't see. You need to just think about what you're doing, and you just need 3 or maybe 4 bullet points on it, not a big rambled message, because when people are driving past at 50 or 60 kilometers an hour, they can't read all the fine print. They want bullet points. Keep it simple. So if you're doing your open homes and you want to make a difference, try some of these things. And if you're marketing a property, try some of these things. I would also suggest, and I'm going to talk about it further in social media, but do a little video. There's plenty of professionals out there who can help you with it, but it's not hard to do a little video like on this video now with your iPhone, with a little app called iMovie. Just learn how to edit and just make it simple and put it out there. Just some real brief facts about the house, maybe a quick view of the back lawn or whatever it is, and some options there about when to view it and your contact number. Dare to be different. Don't be the same as the thousands of other real estate people out there. But I tell you what, even if you're selling cars, you could do this as well. Or boats. You give the people a fact sheet about the vehicle, the boat, or the service that you're providing. Because, I mean, I know I've gone and looked at 4 or 5 cars in one day, and you get all confused as to which one did this and that one had what and so forth. So if you give them a sheet and it's got your name and contact number on it, guess what? You're more likely to get a phone call back and not just have them walk onto the yard and talk to one of your colleagues and have them nab the deal. If you're providing a service that might be a little bit technical, you could do the same thing. As I said, dare to be different and reap the rewards. That's the nitty-gritty of selling today. I'm David Seymour. I'd love you to share the post. Feel free to comment below.